All right. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Say Less Basketball Podcast. You're currently listening to episode 10. My name is Zach Fulcher. Here with my friend Sean. Here with my friend Mo, Will.
Sir.
Yes, sir. We hope you're doing well. Have a plethora of NBA topics for you to hear about tonight, including Durant and Rapaport comments on Instagram and Twitter. Does Kyrie have a top 3 offensive repertoire of all time? Stephen A. and Russ legacy comments. JJ Redick and the Pelicans front office trades. Boogie to the Clippers. And at the end, we're going to have a player versus debate between Kevin Garnett and Dirk Nowitzki.
The big ticket. Yes, sir.
And of course, bold takes for the week, as always. So let's start this rolling. Durant and Rapaport comments on Instagram. So there was recently Rapaport put out a tweet. A lot of snakes in the grass on this one. KD later apologized. So there was a lot of obscenities back and forth between both parties. KD said, "That's not what I want people to see or hear from me." He wants to move on, put in the past. And Rapaport also said he's embarrassed. He feels bad about it, and he also wants to move on. But the fact of the matter is, there was a lot of beef and not good role model behavior from either men. So what are your thoughts, gentlemen? Anyone want to start on this? Comments about this topic?
Have you guys read this? Have you read those messages?
Yeah.
I've seen them
sure.
A lot of bleeps and obscenities.
It's insane. It's definitely not appropriate for a podcast, but they're crazy.
Yeah, we even cuss on here every once in a while, but it's
this is way over the top.
I was just gonna ask that. Can we cuss on here? Or no?
We can cuss.
Yeah, but this is a little much because it gets into like attacking, Rapaport's wife, and then he kind of throws a racial comment back at Durant.
Mm-hmm.
It's
they
not
were going
good.
crazy. KD was going crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, he sent like 7 or 8 messages in a row.
He was
trolling.
But Michael, apparently people were saying Michael deleted some messages that he sent himself.
Oh, I believe it. There's no way he just comes out saying this out of nowhere.
Right. So it looks like Kevin sent a bunch of messages in a row, but sometimes it wasn't the case.
Does anybody know if they had a good relationship? Because I thought they were friends.
They were just cordial.
Yeah, that's what he said. I just watched the video, and he said Sean's right there. He said that they were cordial the first time they met, and it was just like he said that this isn't locker room talk, talking back and forth about spitting in each other's faces and stuff too. But I did also see a tweet. He replied to somebody in the comments that was throwing shade back at him.
Yeah,
Michael Rapaport, and he said there was another screenshot, and he said there that he deleted some messages. So, he called him out that he deleted some messages, and then he's like, "Oh."
So back to the question: how do y'all feel about it?
I don't know, man. I don't feel too good about it. Even though KD kind of destroyed him, it's just not.
Oh my god!
It's just not good behavior. Even though KD, sunned his ass. I don't think that is good behavior from each party. I think they just got to try and move on from this and try and be better role models and not, go out and say things like that.
I'm a big Durant fan, so when it comes to him responding to people on social media, I kind of defend him because I feel like athletes are scrutinized too much, especially with how the internet works. Because they're playing in a competition. There's only one winner, so everybody loses every once in a while. So when I see them respond back to trolls or just throw shade at people and be petty, I don't mind it because sometimes if you just go on Twitter and you see people, hundreds of thousands of people talking about you, you have to feel some type of way sometimes.
Right.
But Durant in this situation, he went over the line. He made himself look really bad, especially with the things he said. So I don't think it hurts his image. I don't think it hurts his sponsorships, but you would think it would happen if the whole Myers Leonard thing. I'm not trying to compare the two situations, but he said something that he wasn't supposed to say, and Durant said a lot of things that he wasn't supposed to say. They both got fined the same amount, but Myers Leonard, he got stripped his deal sponsorships with Twitch and I think he got kicked out of FaZe and stuff like that. He got kicked off the Heat. But for Durant, he's not going to really get kicked off the Brooklyn Nets. He's not going to lose his Nike deal. He's not going to lose his other sponsorships. So,
right.
Like, I don't know. I feel like since Durant's, bigger star, obviously bigger name, I don't think he's going to take as much heat as Miles Leonard did. So,
yeah, definitely not. Because if you take Durant out the league, you're gonna be losing out on a lot of money. Because Durant is a big star compared to Miles Leonard. Like Durant is a mega star. Like,
right.
Yeah, kind of
Nobody
like with
will notice
LeBron.
if he's gone.
Yeah, nobody would notice if Miles is gone, but you definitely notice if KD is gone.
Yeah, facts.
I want to say that Durant's apology wasn't really an apology for what he said. He apologized that people saw it, which I kind of understand. First of all, you're an athlete, bro. What you say is going to get out there. I mean, it's just the reality of being a celebrity. Like, that's just going to happen. So, like, the fact that he's saying, oh, well, it's private, right? That's what his whole thing was, is that it was private. I said this in private conversation, so I didn't expect people to hear about it, right? But you can't be saying stuff like that because eventually it's going to get out. That's just everything. If you're in the spotlight, that happens, Yeah.
Don't you think that conversations like that happen all the time between an athlete and somebody else?
From this conversation, I actually started to kind of believe Durant that they do talk like this pretty regularly. Just the way they were talking, I was like, this has to be more regular than we would think, because there's no way I don't just like go meet somebody on the street and then start cussing them out, saying stuff about their wife or whatever. Like, you can't do that. So I do believe him when he says that they do talk like this regularly.
Right. I still think on Michael Rappaport's part of exposing the messages, I think you don't do that, especially if it was a private DM.
No.
I know a lot of people had a problem with it. So, it's just, but at the same time, if somebody was, threatening me and saying stuff about my wife and, all the other stuff, maybe he got a little, I wouldn't say scared, but worried. So he had to just let somebody know. But I don't think posting it on social media was the right way to do it.
Does he really threaten his wife? I'm looking at the messages
now.
He
doesn't threaten his wife. He talks.
He just brings it up and basically says that she doesn't respect Michael Rapaport, which that's terrible, bro. That's just it's so mean.
Bogus.
I think it was messy on both ends. It was messy on KD's part for going that far, and it was messy on Rappaport's part for exposing the private messages and stuff.
Yeah, they gotta try to move on.
I can't read these with a straight face. But then it should be noted that Rapaport did make a racial comment towards Durant.
What did he say?
Yeah.
He said, "Go to Brownsville and help the people that need the goofball or whatever." It's basically Brownsville is a from what I researched, it's just a predominantly black area that's the way they described it was just kind of and so that was kind of, not that it's justified, like there's no like I'm not trying to say, oh, he said this so it's okay to say this, but there's just both parties said stuff that shouldn't be said.
Maybe he was just trying to say go be a role model instead of worrying about internet trolls.
This is the problem with texting.
Yeah, I would say Durant does worry a little bit too much about internet trolls a lot on social media.
You think?
Twitter and Instagram. This isn't the first indication, first altercation between social media things with Durant. There's been burner talk in the past too, but that's just the way he's going to do it. That's just his style. So.
Facts.
All right, then. Any last words on that one?
Nope.
I think we covered it.
Yeah, we covered that a lot. Moving on. Mohammed said some interesting thing last week on the podcast that Kyrie has a top 3 offensive repertoire of all time. Before we go into this, I wanted to see what Mohammed defines as repertoire. Do we have to go down like a list?
Oh man, here we go.
I don't know what.
Can someone right now Google the definition of repertoire, please?
Well,
I've
obviously
explained this.
You want me to do it?
Go ahead, please, Sean. Please. I've explained this so many times. It's not that hard to concept. It's not a hard concept to grasp around, bro. It's just repertoire is just.
Does it have to be like a certain aspect? Like
his arsenal.
A stock of. You ready? You ready for definition?
Yeah.
A stock of plays, dances, or pieces that a company or a performer knows or is prepared to perform.
See, I know what the word means.
Skill set, bro. Basically, like what he can do with the ball.
Okay.
Just real quick.
What we can do on offense.
Real quick. Gonzaga and UCLA are in OT. Just throwing that out there.
Let's go Bruins. Get them out of here. Get the Bulldogs out of here, man. Damn. But
now,
that's what I'm saying.
After reading the definition, which I knew the word already, don't get it twisted.
Yeah, we all know the word.
I agree with Muhammad that Kyrie Irving has a top 3.
Thank you.
Well, what do you think?
It's Mike.
Are you kidding me?
I agree with
top 3. Kobe, Mike, and Mike. Kobe, Mike, and Kyrie. That's a top 3 right there.
Kyrie Irving.
Questions asked.
Kyrie Irving, best handle ever. I think most people would agree that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's an elite shooter. Elite shooter. Better than Michael Jordan was. Better than Kobe Bryant was.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He can finish at the rim like nobody else. Do you see the way? The reason I said Kyrie Irving could have been up there for MVP this year if he didn't miss so many games is because of this offensive repertoire. He's insane, dude. He's insane, bro. It's not disrespectful to other players. It's just Kyrie Irving's offensive game is that good. It's that good, bro.
Zach, he can shoot from the 3 well. He shoots a 47 or 48. Okay. No. 38% field goal percentage from 3. 38%. Right, so what career wise?
Okay, he can shoot.
Field goal percentage is 47.
Okay.
He can probably hit 50, 40, 90 this season. Okay. His ball handling, we already said, greatest of all time. If not top 2 for sure. And he's not 2. But if you want to put AI and Magic Johnson up there and Steph, you can put him. But Kyrie has a good case to make it. Okay, he can score from any 3 levels of the court, bro. 3, mid range, and at the basket. He's 6'3" and he's not that muscular, and he's probably one of the best finishers of all time, bro. It's that simple. Okay, he's top 3.
Okay, what do you think,
Zach? If you can name me. Give me someone that you replace Kyrie with. If it's Mike and Kobe for top 2,
Kobe, right? Top 2, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we agree with Mike and Kobe, right?
We agree with Mike and Kobe are 1 and 2.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
But what about other players?
I want to hear who else.
I know who you're gonna bring up, but just please say it.
I want to hear it.
You gonna bring up Steph?
What about
Steph?
Could you just bring out LeBron James?
What about Kawhi?
Kawhi is not the finisher.
Kawhi.
Oh
We're talking about Kyrie Irving being, bro. You brought up Kawhi to that?
Okay, Kyrie has better handles than Kawhi.
He's a better shooter.
Okay,
and he can finish
He's a better finisher, bro.
He can finish at the rim better.
You think that he can finish the rim better?
Yes.
What about post?
Okay, Zach.
What about offensive post game?
Zach.
Kyrie's post game.
Listen, post game is 2 different. First of all, it's 2 different positions. Kyrie is not going to post anyone up. Secondly, posting has nothing to do with the way you finish. You don't have to post up to finish, bro. It's all about finishing. That's what we're talking about.
Zach. The definition of repertoire is what someone can bring, what they have in their package. Are you telling me Kawhi's a better layup package than Kyrie Irving?
Have you seen his layup package on 2K?
Have you seen his highlights?
It's insane.
That's fair. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Okay, so but who are you honestly replacing Kyrie with? Because you threw out some names, but who are you actually?
We know,
who do you think really deserves it?
Steph.
No.
And
I agree with you that Steph is an underrated finisher in the paint. Like the stats show that. He can't. Right. But it's mostly because of his floater game. All right, Kyrie doesn't need that. Kyrie can finish at the rim in any way imaginable.
Under the basket, baseline, coming at bigs. Zach.
So can Steph. He can make layups.
He can. But nobody's saying he can't, bro. We're not saying he can't.
As well.
Okay, we're talking about their offensive what they have. Bro.
Passing is offensive.
No. What they have in their package, what they can do with the arsenal. Okay, I say Kyrie is a better ball handler and better dribbler than Steph Curry. Is that true?
Yes.
But he's a better handler, yes.
Okay, is he? Right. Does he have a better? Can he finish at the rim better?
Yes.
Sure.
This is not
okay. Does he have a better mid range?
No.
Huh?
No. He does not have a better mid range than Steph. No.
Let's look this.
Steph's a better shooter.
Quick. That doesn't mean he has a better mid range.
He's a better mid range, bro.
I'm also not too hype on about the LeBron. I think LeBron is underrated with the offensive package.
That's cool. You can say who's ever underrated. You can say
Steph,
LeBron, whatever. But we're trying to argue who's top 3. So if you're gonna put LeBron top 3, say that. If you're not, then don't bring LeBron.
LeBron attacks the basket much better than Kyrie.
Okay, but
attacking because he's LeBron is better finisher.
2'8", 250.
Yes.
Okay, of course he can get to the rim. Okay, LeBron literally just has to bully to the basket.
I think LeBron's more unstoppable on the fast break than Kyrie.
Like again, he's 6'8", 250.
He's 6'8", 250, bro. Of course he is. Size. We're not talking about size. We're talking about skill set.
Underrated 3-point shooting skills.
Zach, the difference between LeBron and
Are you saying LeBron? Wait.
Are you saying LeBron?
Are you saying LeBron is a
better post game?
LeBron is better step back than Kyrie Irving?
Yes.
No, get out of here.
Yes.
No, get out of here. You're done. That's not true, bro.
Yes. Yes.
You know that's like Kyrie's go-to move for mid-ranges, right?
But that's LeBron's go-to.
No, it's not. It's not even close to
when
his
he
go-to.
backs people down on the post and then fades away.
That's
not a step back.
Zach, did you say LeBron has a go-to step back move?
Yes.
At the mid-range.
Yeah.
At the three, I understand you.
When he's posted up down on the post, he can pull away.
That's a fadeaway, bro.
That's a fadeaway. That's not a step back.
Oh, all right, fine. Step back then.
And Kyrie Irving's got a pretty nice fadeaway
too. His fadeaway is better. His fadeaway is better than Kyrie's.
Okay. Kyrie can fade away too, right?
But Kyrie can, yeah.
But he's not.
That's also one of his go-to moves.
And also, he has a better shot to make it because he's a better shooter.
Zach, you brought up Steph's mid-range. What is Steph's mid-range? It's him driving to the basket and then stopping at a dime to pull up a shot. He never posts up somebody on the mid-range and takes a fadeaway or uses his handles to create a shot in the fadeaway. He just runs up, throws a floater, or he just has a pull-up shot. Kyrie can post up somebody on the fadeaway at mid-range and hit a shot like that. Steph doesn't do that.
I've never seen Steph Curry take a fadeaway in my life. Honestly, I haven't.
Maybe at the 3 because he's just throwing shit up. But other than that, have you seen him? He makes those. I'm not saying he just throws stuff. He makes those. It doesn't matter. But let me just read some quotes that I found that people comments about Kyrie's offensive game.
Are these real analysts?
Real players. I didn't look at analysts, but analysts rave about his offensive game. Stephen A. always brings up Kyrie as the best ball.
No, I didn't know if you were reading comments from fans. But go on.
No. But Malcolm Brogdon, who is probably perceived as a top 10 perimeter defender in the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He says Kyrie, he's a guy that doesn't have any weakness to his offensive game. DeAndre Jordan, he makes a lot of bigs look silly at the basket. Miles Turner said, someone like that, there's only so much you can do. DeAndre Jordan and Miles Turner are probably one of the best rim protectors in the league. Or DeAndre Jordan used to be, but still.
Still is.
Point made.
Miles
if
Turner,
you have big men,
sure.
If big men saying that about you, Miles Turner is really 7 feet. Kyrie's 6'2", and he's complaining about somebody, not complaining, but he's saying there's only so much you can do to a guy that's coming at you that can throw it up anyway. Nick Nurse, you got to pick your poison when Kyrie Irving is on the floor. He said, pick your poison, bro. He basically saying, hey, we can't stop him, so we have to make sure he throws up a difficult shot, basically. Steve Kerr.
And so after, go ahead.
My bad. Let me just read the Steve Kerr quote because Kerr is the coach of Steph Curry. By the way, Kyrie is one of those guys that makes $30 million because he hits difficult shots.
Yeah.
And he said that he coaches Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
So are you saying LeBron has more of a repertoire than Kyrie Irving?
Well, it depends on what you say repertoire, because you guys are saying passing and rebounding and offensive
in general. Offensive in
general. But you're saying that passing and rebounding don't count as much as handles and shooting and driving to the basket.
No, Zach. When Sean read that definition, it said what a guy can bring with his package,
I'll read it again.
with his arsenal.
Right, I know what it means.
Okay, I know nobody's talking. I'm just talking about what
he has in his bag to use.
Listen.
So it's basically just his skill set.
I'm repeating it again for the group.
So you're saying you take Kyrie in any one-on-one situation over LeBron?
Yes.
100%.
Really?
100%.
So in the ISO is what you're asking. In the ISO.
In the ISO.
Kyrie Irving.
Bro, do you think I'm just gonna? I don't want to bring this up to like honestly throw shade, but do you think LeBron James hits that shot that Kyrie Irving did in Game 7?
I was just about to say that. Can we bring up the Game 7 shot?
Do you think he hits that shot?
Please?
He doesn't, bro.
Were you watching back then?
LeBron grabbed the rebound and
he started.
Were you watching back then though?
He started that year. He started that year, bro.
You wrong.
Oh, he started that year.
Yeah,
okay.
Can I bring something up? Let me bring something up because
Zach would pass out of that shot. And
Zach, I want to bring this up because you've mentioned
he would pass out of that shot to somebody else and they would miss it and then he'd get roasted in the middle.
That's your fault. Don't pass up on the shot. No.
Zach.
What?
Well, hold on. Wait. Let me just say this, Zach. If you ever want to see what Kyrie can do with the ball,
you're gonna bring up the 50-point game again, right? Did they win that game?
No, I'm talking. No, hold on. The NBA posted during the pandemic a bunch of full games last year. I forgot what they called it. It's like NBA Live Together. One of the games they posted, and Kyrie's one of the most iconic performances he put up is the double nickel he put up against the Spurs in 2015. I know that's before the time you start watching basketball, so you probably don't know about it. But the full game is online on YouTube on the NBA page. Look it up after we're done with this podcast and go, please watch that game and see what Kyrie Irving does. And guess what? LeBron played in that same game, but just watch what Kyrie does, okay? And then you understand what you're trying to say.
Okay.
Right?
This man said LeBron had a more repertoire than Kyrie Irving.
No. Okay.
Like
I want to bring this
they
up,
They obviously think handles.
Zach, listen to this, bro. You're talking about
more
rebounding.
Passing, but whatever.
You talk about rebounding too. LeBron so rebounding would be offensive, right? Offensive rebounding. So we're talking about that. LeBron averages 1.2 offensive rebounds for his career. Guess how many Kyrie averages? 1. He's a 6'2" guard, and he almost averages as many as LeBron. So that doesn't make sense there. Kyrie averages 6 assists per game. LeBron averages 7.8 or something. So, pretty close, but the usage rates aren't even close. So, yes, he's not the best passer. And obviously he's not the best offensive rebounder because he's 6'2", but he is so much better than all other people in those other categories. It's not even close. It's just not.
3-level scorer, best ball hand of all time, could literally do anything on the court with the ball. Just come on, bro.
All right. We gotta move on though. We gotta move on. Fair enough.
We can talk about that game-winning shot he hit on Klay Thompson that Christmas game when the Warriors had KD. That was a fadeaway I've never seen Steph do. Have you seen Steph do a fadeaway like that for the game winner?
Moving on.
Maybe off a screen.
Moving on.
With illegal screens, yeah.
Moving on.
It's
3-on-1. It's 3-on-1. Let me just move on. I'm not going to win this argument because I got 3 clowns arguing against me. But moving on.
You're doing all right.
We got shut up. We got Stephen A. and the Russ situation. I think this is going to be interesting because I'm not sure what all of your thoughts are in terms of.
Can you refresh my memory on what they were arguing about again?
On Russell Westbrook and his legacy. So Stephen A. Smith was basically ripping Russell Westbrook for after I think it was like the 35-point triple double or 25-point triple double.
Yeah,
Russ had. Stephen A. basically said, he's a great player, but he's a failure because he has
championships, right?
Yeah, he has not won a championship yet.
Let me.
So there's been a lot of talk that came out recently. His wife, Russell Westbrook's wife, actually got in on it too, and she posted on Instagram about how, it doesn't matter what you say because Russ was. One time she told a story about how Russ was watching a game from like UCLA or something like that, and the commentator was the same commentator that he had when he was there, and Russell was just saying about how it was unfair that commentator can say something, and then that'll hurt that player down the line, in terms of his legacy, and people might not like want to take him. So there was a lot of topic about whether Stephen A. is questioning Russell Westbrook as like a failure as a player, or is this just a knock that he can't win a championship? So I want to hear what you guys think. Do you think that Russ is a failure? Do you think that his legacy is damaged? Do you think that
I'm gonna start this one off.
Yeah.
Wait, let me read Stephen A's quote so you actually know
full
what
quote.
he said. Westbrook's numbers last night mean absolutely nothing to me because even though that's great numbers, that's what Westbrook can do. We all know this. He's a former league MVP. He's the most athletic point guard we have ever seen in history, but Westbrook teams haven't won when it counts the most. It's the same stuff every year.
Yeah.
So
So
then
it'd be a little
obviously
bit
Russ came back.
personal, but obviously I think it should just stay basketball. I don't think it should get any personal. It should just stay basketball. I think we can all agree that Russ is a great player, but let's see what people think about. What do you guys think about?
I think Stephen A is wrong for what he said. Like, yeah, Russ has never won a championship. You can say what he said. He blew a 3-1 lead or whatever when it was him and KD on the Thunder. But at the end of the day, it's still an elite player. He's still going to be down in the Hall of Fame, one of the best players to play the game, in my opinion. And I don't think everyone should be, their legacy should amount to a ring, because there's been many greats who haven't had the chance to get a ring, like Allen Iverson, for example.
Yep.
I think rings only should come into play when you're talking about someone being like the greatest of all time. Maybe like we compare LeBron and Jordan or people like that. Not saying Westbrook is on that level, but you get what I'm saying. Like when it's a GOAT conversation, then that's when you can bring up rings. But when it's just an elite player that should give like the respect he deserves, I don't think rings should determine someone's legacy and how effective they were in the league. Because Westbrook hasn't had that many pieces. Like he had KD at one point, but recently he hasn't had the pieces to get there. He's been, like having to carry the teams on his back and like having to be the number one player. He needs help. Like he can't. I don't know why Stephen A expects him to just, like completely take over by himself. Yeah. So that's my opinion.
I do think that Rockets team should have done better than they did last season with the playoffs with Russ and Harden and that team. After the Chris Paul days as well, I thought that they would have been better with Russ, honestly, than with Chris Paul. But I don't. When it comes to skill level and talk about what they can do on the basketball court, Russ is unmatched. He has a lot of triple doubles to his name. A lot of people talk about stat chasing or whatever, but I honestly think, even as a big Curry fan, I do think that Russ is a good player. I do respect his skill set and his ability to put up triple doubles, and I think that helps the team more than some people think. I think people think, oh, well, he's just chasing the stats, but he gets assists and rebounds in addition to just scoring. So he does help the team on multiple levels on the offensive end. So, Mohammed's getting mad that I'm taking up time. Whatever. What are your thoughts, Mohammed? No, what are your thoughts, Mohammed?
So finally I can speak. Well, if you want to go, because you had some funny
facial reactions. Okay, the narrative that Westbrook has to carry is just nonsense. All right, that year after KD left, yes, but then they had PG, they had Westbrook, they had Carmelo. That team wasn't that bad. I will say that PG was good in the regular season.
Season.
Okay, well, I'm just letting you know that there's stars there. There's stars there. You could say the same thing about Kawhi and the Clippers. Then they played with the Rockets. That team was good enough to be elite. Now, I think Stephen A is super old school. And I think what bothers him more so also is that teams have moved on from Russell Westbrook so often, because it's kind of shown, whether it's fair or not, that he just can't play with another great player and you win. Because you're playing with the Wizards right now. This Wizards team, I look at their roster and it's not a bad team. Like, it shouldn't be this bad. But no. Mohammed's looking at his watch again. So let's let him. You come in. Yeah, I want to hear this. Let me put on my listening face.
Cool. Well, to your point, Will, yes, I agree that Paul George, Carmelo, Westbrook should at least beat that Jazz squad. Was it 2018 when Donovan was a rookie? They would have played the Rockets. I think James Harden's MVP year, so I don't really expect them to win that series. But I think that first round, Russ did underperform, but Paul George
he was not good. He was not good against the Jazz. Yeah.
So was Carmelo. So all three of them were to blame for that series, since they were the superstars, the leaders of that team. But for Stephen A's comments, I think it's just bogus that he jumps to championships Like nobody was saying that coming into the season, Westbrook and Beal, they're going to be a top 5 or top 4 team in the East. They have a chance to go to the conference finals. If those were the expectations, then yes, maybe him dropping a triple-double or whatever, and then them still being a bad team, then you can say something like that. But a lot of people are coming in and saying Westbrook was washed. A lot of people after the Westbrook trade, they're saying, Wall's a better player. So, basically Wall's a better player, obviously, and then stuff like that. And then Westbrook is kind of playing better than Wall right now. So I just think it's a double standard, because if Westbrook was ring chasing like a lot of these other guys, maybe Stephen A was still bashing for it. So I think it's a double standard, but I don't think people were coming in saying, Westbrook's going to lead this Wizards team to a championship and stuff like that.
Can I say my opinion now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. So I don't think the comments are fair, because not everybody's built to win a championship. Like there are players we can look at in the league and be like, okay, you can be the best player on a championship team. Personally, I don't think that's Russell Westbrook. We got LeBron, we got Kawhi, we got Steph Curry, probably Kevin Durant. You got there's maybe 4 or 5 guys that you can look at. Westbrook's not that guy. And yes, to your point, Mohammed, if their expectations were to win a championship, okay, that'd be a different story.
What do you mean he's not that guy?
I don't personally.
What do you mean by that?
I don't think Westbrook can be the best player on a championship team. That's just my feeling.
Wow.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
that's wild.
I mean, okay. Well,
he's one of the best point guards in this era.
I'm not disagreeing, bro. And I had arguments with some friends from a different city that, when I hear their arguments, I kind of, but that said he wasn't even a top 5 point guard now, which to me is asinine.
A lot of people are saying
asinine.
That's asinine.
He's so elite, and I think he's probably top 3, maybe top 4.
I would say he's underrated at this point, because
I agree.
People say he's overrated, but these triple doubles should make him really good.
Let's say this though. Let's say the Wizards somehow won the championship this year. Who's the best player on the team?
Russell Westbrook.
You think?
Yeah,
you think?
Russell Westbrook.
Okay. Yes. I would have argued Beal.
Wow.
But
Beal over.
But
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Westbrook with KD in his OKC days, then that statement would be true. But I do agree, Westbrook, they had a chance to win in OKC, but Westbrook was part of the problem why they didn't ever.
And the Rockets.
Go back to the finals.
Same thing.
And the Rockets with his shooting, with his bad shooting woes last year in the playoffs against the Lakers. And yeah. But so I guess that's a fair thing to say. But at the same time, actually, no, never mind.
That's not his skill set, right? I think he gets too much hate for not having a good 3-point shot, as opposed to
people
Dame
this season
Steph,
were downplaying him as a player overall, which was just nonsense, because he is still an elite point guard.
Right.
But if Stephen A is talking about him being a championship, making a team a championship contender, he has a skill set to do it, but with his history, I don't think he could carry a team to a championship.
I don't either.
I personally think it's because he hasn't found the right people to mesh with, chemistry wise, personally. Because him and Paul George didn't work out. Him and James Harden didn't work out.
I mean, Paul George, he did have the MVP season the year before he left. I think Paul George and KD, his relationship with those two players, they were good enough. But the one thing I knock about Westbrook is he tries to be the man, even though he's not the man.
Right.
That's
what I was saying, bro.
Yeah, I think it gets to the
that's the only problem I have. I think if he let KD do his thing, then maybe they would have been better in the playoffs. But that 2016 series, obviously, they both were bad, so you can't really blame Russ for that. But that's
I'm not saying he's not elite, bro. I'm just saying I personally don't think he will be your best player on a championship team.
Right, and I also want to say, at what point do we realize? Do we figure out what teammates he needs for chemistry? Because he's had Kevin Durant, he's had James Harden, he's had Paul George, he's had Beal now. At some point, you get on the list and you're he had all those players, and he can't win a championship, but he is, in my opinion, one of the best point guards of all time, especially in this era. And I remember Shaq on TNT was talking about it doesn't matter, in terms of legacy, you bring up rings to build legacy, but in terms of skill set, when you're talking about players like Karl Malone and John Stockton and Charles Barkley and Steve Nash and a bunch of other players. You have to think, they're good players, so they deserve to be up there in the all-time greatest players lists. But if you're talking about like the greatest player of all time, obviously rings go into that account. But so that's my opinion. I think Russ is, one of the best ever.
We agree top 5 in the league, right? At point guard. Like there's no way he's not, right? That's crazy to me.
And there are not people say he's like not top 20 or whatever.
Is Russell Westbrook a top 10 point guard of all time in league history?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay. I asked Sean this earlier. Like 2 days ago, I asked him, is he better than Steve Nash?
Oh, I don't know.
If he say yes to that, then where do you rank him in the top 10?
Well, that would
I think because remember I also asked, I was like, do you mean skill wise or reliability wise? So
I mean, it takes into account, if you're talking about all-time rankings, you have to take everything into account.
If you take everything into account, you got to take success into account. Then you would have to go with Steve Nash.
I would probably go Nash as well.
So where would you guys put Russ in the top 10?
Bottom half.
Bottom half. So like maybe 5 through 7 or 7 through 10.
Somewhere 5 through 7, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking off the top of my head. John Stockton, Isaiah Thomas. I mean, that's.
You think Magic? You think
Isaiah Thomas, Steph Curry. Yeah, he's probably around 5. Somewhere in there.
Would you put him in Oscar Robinson?
Do you consider Allen Iverson a point guard? Because he did play point at a certain point in time.
Allen Iverson.
If you consider Allen Iverson a point guard, I don't think Westbrook's better than him.
I think we're talking about Russ. We got to put Kyrie and Damon there somewhere around that area with Russ.
You guys are considering Iverson a point guard?
Yes.
Me personally, I think Iverson's a shooting guard.
Yeah, I guess by his
I think we can all agree I think it's unanimous here that he is top 10. Once you get down that list into like the 9s.
I mean, in a further episode, we could do a top 10 point guard all time list because it is an interesting topic.
All right, future topic, top 10 point guard of all time.
But we chat right now.
We do have to move on though, unfortunately. But we'll talk about that later. But a few topics, a little touch on here, little short topics. The first instance is the J.J. Redick and the Pelicans front office trade. Apparently, Redick got traded to the Mavs. I looked into this personally. J.J. Redick is actually really cool because he has his own podcast. He has his own podcast, so I think it's cool that he can have like an outlet. So I think that's cool when players have like a little outlet and they can personally go on and have like a little show and talk about what happened.
A pretty good podcast if you guys want to check it out.
It is a pretty good podcast. Yeah, shout out the Old Man and the Three with JJ Redick. But they're talking about. Maybe he'll
sponsor us.
I hope. I doubt it though. But shout out. But they got good content on there. But he basically said that he requested a trade earlier in the season, in like November or whatever, or something, to a team that could be in the New York area, so he could be closer to his family in Brooklyn. And David Griffin said that it would happen, but as time went on, he thought it would be a buyout, and then it didn't happen, and eventually he got traded to the Mavs, which is obviously farther away from New York than New Orleans. So what are your thoughts about this? I think this can lend to front office talk about bad front offices in the league. Are the David Griffin led Pelicans front office one of the worst in the league after this scenario? Your thoughts? No.
I don't think so. Okay, first of all, David Griffin is a great executive, in my opinion. I don't think that he did this with bad intentions. Personally, that's just the way I look at it. Now, I know Redick was very upset. I don't even think Redick wanted to be on the team like from the get-go. I don't know if
he said there was like no knock on the Mavs because, he loved to play with like Luka and Porzingis and be able to shoot the three and stuff, and he likes Mark Cuban as well. So there was not any knock from Redick on the Mavs front office or the roster or anything. So
this was just a bad situation.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of variables that play into it. How old he is, his skill set, trade packages, obviously. Where would he end up going? Would it be to the Knicks? Would it be to like the Celtics? That's kind of close to the Nets, who don't need anybody else really. But like those kinds of things, like there's a lot of variables. So, and I personally think like I said, I think David Griffin's good. So I'm kind of I lean on his side a little bit with this.
I lean on Redick's side a little bit more because if you request like a buyout or a trade back in a while ago and you don't get it, and that's just not professional. And they didn't even let him know that he was going to the Mavs. They didn't even consult with him. So I think this is just a bad move by the Pelicans front office in general, because it just seems like they wanted to trade him, even though. Oh, okay, Mohammed doing the watch point again. Moving on. What you want to say?
Okay, so let me get my 2 cents in real quick. So in this situation,
50 cents.
What I seen, I watched the Jump on ESPN react to this, and also Skip and Shannon. So basically, David Griffin said to JJ Redick, "You have my word." Okay?
Right. Yeah.
So JJ was under the assumption that, hey, I can be close to my family. Or at least I could be traded to a Philly, Boston,
right?
Maybe the Knicks would have been good because his family lives in Brooklyn, all his wife and kids and stuff. So he want to be closer, and he's old, so he probably doesn't really want to. He doesn't really care about the team. He just wants to be close to his family. Obviously, that didn't happen. So my problem with David Griffin, like Will said, I think he's a good GM. I like him as well. But if you tell somebody you have my word about something big like this,
right?
You can't just go off it and basically make yourself look what's the word?
Goofy, unprofessional. Yeah.
Not unprofessional, but just like a liar. I don't know, like what's another word, but I think it's just bogus. Like you can't tell a man straight to his face, hey, I understand you want to be close to your family. You have my word. I'll try to trade you somewhere near them. Okay, doesn't have to be Brooklyn itself. He could have been traded to Philly. He could drive there on off days. So I think it's a bad look for the front office, and Skip and Shannon were talking about, like, maybe Lonzo's a restricted free agent this year. So maybe he doesn't want to stay in New Orleans because of this. Or maybe not Zion or Brandon Ingram, but role players. Like, people see a situation like this and be like, okay, I can't trust a front office for personal, what's the word? Personal, not care. Yeah, but just like personal requests, I guess.
Personal requests, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I say real quick before you just keep going? I wasn't like defending their front office. I was just saying, like, as a GM, I think David Griffin's good. I'm not saying like what he did is right. I'm just saying he's a good GM.
Yeah, I just had a problem with him saying, "Oh, you have my word that okay."
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Richard Jefferson. Yeah. Go ahead. My bad, Sean.
You good? You shouldn't tell someone you have their word, especially in a business like that, because now players are gonna look at you like, can I really trust what he's saying to me? Does he really want me here at the end of the day? It's just untrustworthy. Like, if you're doing business and you want someone to go out there and perform it for you and give it their all and risk their bodies, then you should be like trustworthy.
And not to mention, it's not a guarantee. You can't say I can guarantee a trade or something to this team. You can't. It's impossible to say unless you buy out his contract. I guess they could have done that.
Yeah, he said he was expecting a buyout since there was no trade at the moment. But
I did not know that they gave him his word.
Yeah, that's what he said apparently. Richard Jefferson also said, like, JJ Redick is not a franchise player. He's not a mega superstar.
Oh, so I remember, yeah.
Maybe that played a part into it because he can't make a request like that and think, okay, David Griffin for sure will fulfill that request. If Zion said something like that or Brandon Ingram, then maybe David Griffin would have tried harder. Maybe they would have been like, okay, if we can't get a trade, buy him out, obviously. But since it's JJ Redick, maybe they felt like, it's just, if you can't do it, you can't do it. But him saying, oh, you have my word, don't say something like that if you don't really know for sure.
And we could go back to those Draymond Green comments way back when, a few, like episode 3 or whatever, where he said that front offices just do what they want. You're kind of just, you're just there. You're at their mercy.
Facts.
Yeah, facts. All right, moving on though. Real quick before we get into the player versus debate. DeMarcus Cousins, Boogie, is intending to sign with the Clippers. It might be there were reports that might be just a minor role. He might just be backing up Serge Ibaka. So I think this does make the Clippers a little bit better. in terms of the playoff race, but I don't know if it's going to make a big difference unless Boogie can stay healthy and, go back and produce, well with the rebounds and offensive production and stuff. So I don't know. Your thoughts?
It's a 10-day, right?
I think so. Yeah,
that was what they're going to do first. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just real quick. We'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have any lingering thoughts.
Mohammed, you said something about like him not being able to do it, right?
I didn't see an official signing.
Oh, okay, yeah. There's
okay, that's what you meant. Yeah.
He doesn't. He intends to, but we'll see what happens with that.
I mean, I heard that other teams were trying to get him too.
So their issue right now is that Serge Ibaka doesn't have a timetable, so they need a big man for the time being. So I think his role would be a little bit more significant right now, but like you said, Zach, he's super injury prone at this point. Like it's hard to really know what Boogie is, sadly, because I love him.
Yep. All right, then. Moving on, though.
Whatever.
Here we go. The player versus player debate this week. Last week we've had some fire battles in the past about Steph Curry, Dame Kyrie, Steve Nash, and Jason Kidd.
2-0.
2-0. So we've had three debates.
All right, 3-0. My bad.
But tonight.
Convinced Zach last week.
Whenever you're listening, shout out to everyone listening through this podcast too. We appreciate y'all. But the debate today is Kevin Garnett and Dirk Nowitzki.
Oh,
yes, sir.
All right. I want to hear these. We got 4 people in this. I want to hear everyone's topic for Mohammed's been on the mic, been calling the watch party, calling in the clocks the whole podcast tonight. So let's hear his take first. Kevin Garnett or Dirk Nowitzki? I have a feeling I know what he's gonna say though.
You already know what I'm picking, so you don't have to ask.
Big ticket.
He's taking the
big ticket, man.
He's taking the big
yes,
ticket.
Sir.
The big ticket.
I like that.
High School.
I like that.
Why
Let's
though?
Go. West Side, Chicago, bro.
I like that.
Why
High
though?
School.
I like that. The geometry.
I like that.
Why though?
Why
though?
Look, I went first last week, so Will, if you want to, I know you guys.
Fine. Before going into this, I wasn't sure who I was gonna pick. I actually thought I'd pick Dirk, but after analyzing this, I got to go with KG. You want to know why? It is the same issue we've had every single debate. There is 2 sides. Well, that was 4. 2 sides of the basketball game, right? 2 sides. If I'm looking at one side, okay, Dirk Nowitzki, you got it. Steph Curry, you got it. Who did we talk about? Who was the other one? Oh, Steve Nash. Steve Nash, you got it. But the problem is there's another side of the ball. And when we look at that other side of the ball, it's not even close. Let's just run through. Let's run through some accolades here, boys. KG, 9-time All-NBA, 12-time All-Defensive. Let's look at how many All-Defensive teams for Dirk Nowitzki. Mohammed, you remember that phrase we use?
Yeah, fat ass goose egg.
Yeah,
hero.
A big fat
hero is the hero. Bro.
That's 1 Defensive Player of the Year for KG. Big fat goose egg for Dirk. They both won 1 championship, obviously, and they both have 1 MVP. Fair enough. Dirk does have a Finals MVP that KG does not have.
Should have got it in a way.
Don't matter. 14-time All-Star for Dirk, 15-time All-Star for KG, which maybe means something considering
2008, huh? Shoulda, woulda, coulda. That's what you say with Steph. Moving on, though.
Considering that they both played 21 years, so for what it's worth, KG had 1 more All-Star appearance. Whatever. I could go into some more stats, but I'll just start with that. Sean,
rebounds leader.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. 4-time rebound leader.
4-time
KG.
4-time.
I'll just start there. I got more, but go ahead, Sean.
What do you have to say, real quick?
I'm going big ticket. I'm going big ticket. Big ticket beats Dirk in every other stat other than shooting. It's not even close. You want to talk total stats? KG leads in every stat except total points because obviously Dirk shoots the ball more. So I'm just gonna leave that there. If I want a franchise player on my team, I'm going with someone that can go both ways, not just shoot the ball. That's all
Sean.
Yo.
So you said KG leads in all the stats except for points, right?
Except points, unless you want to talk total games.
Yeah. But it's crazy because KG played 60 less career games than Dirk Nowitzki. But has more rebounds, assists, steals, blocks. Just crazy. I also want to mention that KG is one of 3 players in NBA history to have 25,000 career points, 14,000 rebounds, and 5,000 assists. The other 2 are Kareem and Karl Malone, by the way, if I can mention. Thank you.
Who are those guys? I don't even know who they are.
I mean, just the top 2 scorers.
And we know you like assists, Zach. We know you like assists.
I do like assists. Assists.
9-year stretch, KG averaged 20 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Led the NBA in rebounding 4 times in that stretch. Had a defensive player in that stretch, won MVP in that stretch, and took the Minnesota Timberwolves, probably the most poverty franchise in NBA history, to 4 50-win seasons. 4 50-win seasons. The Timberwolves hasn't had a 50-win season since KG left, bro.
Mo,
carry the franchise.
Crazy? You know what's crazy, right? Dirk is obviously the better shooter, correct?
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is when you talk field goal percentage, guess who leads?
Yeah.
KG.
I seen that when I was looking up.
KG.
Man. Crazy.
KG. Yeah.
But he doesn't lead from 3, obviously.
Yeah, because KG
not from 3.
shot in the paint.
He took 100. He only made 174 career threes. So he wasn't a 3-point shooter, bro.
I'm not disagreeing.
KG's a better shooter, huh? Is KG better?
I didn't say that. I didn't say. What did I just say?
The percentages are better.
I said Dirk. I said Dirk is a greater shooter than KG. That's not even a question. Correct. Muhammad said correct, and then I said, but what's crazy is KG leads in field goal percentage.
Well, it sounds like you're arguing that he has a better shooting then.
That's not. You don't have to, bro. A field goal can be anything. It's not just shooting.
Bro, that is like saying LeBron isn't a scorer, but he averages more points than KD. That argument is so stupid. Okay, Zach, come on.
All right. Is it
all right?
Anybody else want to say anything?
You have the floor.
Anybody else want to say
Hey, Zach.
Keep going.
Hey, Zach.
I'm playing devil's advocate again, bro. I'm playing devil's advocate again.
I'm not done. Career points per game. Obviously, Dirk only averages 3 more career points per game than KG. KG averages 3 more rebounds. He's at 10, exactly 10.0. Dirk's at 7.5. KG averages 3.7 assists for a career. Dirk averages 2.4. KG averages 1.3 steals, 1.4 blocks. Dirk doesn't even average a block or a steal for his career, and he's like 7 feet. It's crazy. Like Will mentioned, 12 all defense total selections. 12, bro.
That's crazy.
9 of them are first team. This man Dirk has 0, bro. 0. He's a 7-footer. He can't even get 1. That's crazy. And then they're both all NBA first team 4 times. So, and they both have 1 MVP. They both have a ring. Dirk obviously has that Finals MVP, but KG should have got it in 08 and 09 playoff run proved that he should have been 08 Finals MVP because Celtics were nothing without him. But go ahead, Zach. See what you got to say.
Will, Sean, you guys haven't talked in a while because dumbass over here has had the floor.
No. I wanna hear what you say so I can remember.
Anybody else have anything to say before I say my piece? Before I go 1-on-3 into the depths of the trenches again. Down 3-1. The depths of the trenches. Okay, that's crazy. He's a better. What is he? A better scorer?
Everything but shooter.
Everything but shooting. So he's a better and scoring. So he's a better rebounder, plays better defense, right? What else?
We just said
better rebounder.
Everything but shooting, Zach.
So he's a better rebounder and he plays better defense.
Make it easy.
That's not even a question.
So he's not
better
a better
passer.
scorer.
Better passer, obviously too.
Better passer.
See, look.
Higher career PER. I know PER was a big thing with Steve Nash and Jason Kidd, right, Zach? Right. He has a higher PER than him, too.
Yeah.
Crazy.
One thing you're not talking about is the eye test. One thing you forget to mention is that KG never beat a super team single-handedly in the finals and carried that team through the playoffs. KG could not have taken that Mavs team to the finals and won those games. I guarantee you, KG is not winning those finals with the Mavs. He's not even getting to the finals with the Mavs. He's not beating LeBron. He's not beating Wade, and he's not beating Chris Bosh. So if
he's not getting to the finals,
he might get to the finals. But he's not going to beat that Heat team. He's not going to beat that Heat team. So if you guys are talking about greatest player, I'm taking Dirk solely off the premise that he can beat teams and lead teams better than KG, and that's only
Zach or anybody else. Can y'all remind me what Dirk did in 07 when he got his first MVP?
That's the only argument I need. He carried the team.
Zach, can you answer my question, bro?
Carry the team to the playoffs.
Can you answer my question, though? Can you
answer me this question? Could Kevin Garnett have taken that Mavs team to the finals and beaten that super team?
No, but can you answer what
he couldn't have. Can
you answer what happened in 07?
Listen, wait, wait. So now I'm looking at best playoff stats, right?
Yeah.
It seems like KG leads in everything but points per game, and that's I'm not done. This is best playoff stats, correct? This is their best playoffs versus the best playoffs. KG leads in everything but scoring, and that is only by 1.4 points. So you telling me if he's better in everything else, and he only trails if he only trails him by one singular point, he can't make the same impact Dirk did with that Mavs team?
Yo, Zach, since you want to ask about, can KG do this because Dirk did that? Can you tell me, can Dirk carry that tempo?
I think KG can team up with Paul Pierce and Ray Allen and win a championship.
You see how he's dodging the questions I'm asking?
Win a championship.
All right, Skip. That is the most Skip. This is your Skip Bayless right now, bro.
You can team up with him and win a championship.
Be better.
Can you answer my question, bro?
Come on, Skip.
Kevin Garnett needed to team up to beat LeBron. Kevin Garnett needed to team up to beat LeBron. Dirk Nowitzki did not.
Kevin Garnett was in the West before he joined the Celtics.
But he wasn't facing Celtics and then had to beat him. Still.
That argument is so insane.
The Celtics never played the Cavaliers before they made that team, bro. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, so why would they team up to beat LeBron when they never played him? And two of those guys were in the West, so they never even met LeBron. The only way they could do it is in the finals. But obviously, Ray Allen in the Bucks, on the Bucks, never went to the finals. Obviously, KG on the Timberwolves never went to the finals. And Paul Pierce only made the playoffs twice before KG and Ray Allen joined. So how is it they teaming up to beat LeBron, bro? Tell me.
Relax. I said relax. I say Kevin Garnett cannot carry that Mavs team to the finals, and that's only the argument I need. I can go on about other things. I can talk about other things and we can disagree, but Kevin Garnett is not carrying that Mavs team to beat the super team Heat. That's fact.
Because he trails by one singular point per game. You're right.
No, because he's also a better leader than Kevin Garnett.
He's a better leader?
Yes.
KG was the heart and soul of the Celtics team.
Zach.
But he didn't win finals.
So can you answer my question? Is Dirk doing what KG did with the Timberwolves in the early 2000s?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Okay.
What did he do with the Timberwolves that's noteworthy?
Made them a playoff team.
Well, Dirk could do that too.
Wait, hold on. I want to go back to what you just said. Wait. I want to go back to what you just said.
I just want to say,
hold on.
Dirk
I said no. Wait.
Dirk
Hold on, let me say this. This is gonna crush you. This is gonna crush you. Just tell me if you're ready.
Can you answer my question though?
Zach, tell me if you're ready to be crushed. Wait, Mo, chill. Just tell me if you're ready to be crushed.
What?
So I said KG was the heart and soul of the Celtics, correct?
Right.
But he didn't win a Finals MVP, correct?
Right.
So would you agree that Steph Curry is the heart and soul of the Warriors?
I know that he was gonna say that.
I wonder how come KD won Finals MVP in 2018.
He's not the heart and soul.
Maybe he's the heart and soul.
No, he's not.
No, Zach, you said that multiple times. Steph Curry is the reason why that Warriors team is successful.
Yeah, Steph Curry is the heart and soul. Yeah, Steph Curry's the heart and soul. Yeah.
But how is he the heart and soul that year if he didn't win Finals MVP? Like what you just said.
There's different situations. To each.
That's off your logic too. You said he's not the heart and soul of the team because he didn't win Finals MVP. But guess who won Finals MVP in 2018 with Steph on the same team?
Paul Pierce was a born and raised Celtic, so he's the heart and soul of that organization. And Steph Curry, a born and raised Warrior, so he's the heart and soul of that.
But you just said
it's crazy. Zach, it's crazy how both those guys weren't successful.
Those guys set up those teams, and then they had other players join their teams because they were the central pieces.
Central piece.
Yeah.
It's funny because when KG was out in
they built the super team around Curry.
Let me educate you on some history real quick because I know you don't know this, but in 2009, Kevin Garnett was down with the knee injury. So Celtics didn't have him for the first, what was it? I don't even think he played in the playoffs. I don't know if it was first 2 rounds, but he didn't play. They faced the Bulls. They went to 7 games to the Bulls. And Bulls, the 09 Bulls with the rookie D-Rose took them to 7 games, pushed them to the limit, okay? And then they played the Magic, got beat in 6, okay? This was without KG. The next year he comes back in the playoffs, he goes to the finals. So,
I don't care. Can KG take that Mavs team to the finals and beat that super team?
Yes.
Mohammed? Yes.
No, I said no. I just said
no. So if he can't beat that super team, then why is he better? That makes no sense.
We're talking about
better player.
This is career. This is better player
and career. That's both a knock on better player and career. Okay, if he can't take that team to the finals, how is he better?
Put him over. That's not going to put him over.
That's like saying, LeBron, MJ can't take that Cavs team to beat the Warriors, so he's a better player. But that argument makes sense. How does it make sense that KG is a better player than Dirk Nowitzki and he can't take that Mavericks team and do the things that Dirk did with them? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, there's so much more to that than you're mentioning. First of all, there's so much more. Dude, that Mavs team was built around Dirk. They surrounded him with great defensive players, great shooters, bro. KG's skill set is not shooting. They would have to build a different team.
That's crazy. I guess.
No. It's funny.
You say no as well, right, Will?
No, to what?
Will and Sean.
No. Okay, well, I'm going to say yes, because if you're going to say that Dirk could do what KG did in his first years with the Timberwolves, then I'm going to just say, yeah, KG could do it. We don't know, so why not? You never know. But personally, on a serious note, though, I don't think that team. No.
Okay. So
I don't think personally. Yeah, Muhammad froze.
Muhammad's froze. Yeah. We'll move on.
Personally, I don't think that KG would have fit that team to make it to the finals. If they built a different team, maybe. But KG is not replacing Dirk. Dirk's not replacing KG only because KG's game is not to shoot, which Dirk's is. And that makes a big difference. No, it makes a big difference. It's not this. It makes a big difference.
Whatever.
I didn't know just because you can shoot better, so when that made you overall.
Dude, every single debate we've had.
I didn't know. Hey, Muhammad. I didn't know just because you can shoot better, that makes you better at the whole game of basketball.
No. Okay, let me make this point before I had some technical difficulties. It's funny because Will mentions how that team was built around Dirk, right? They had good defenders because Dirk couldn't defend. The problem with
those guys.
Okay, right, yeah. Thank you, Jay. Yeah, and we can talk about Tyson Chandler too. He was a centerpiece of that rim protection, wasn't he? Because Dirk couldn't rim protect even though he was 7 feet.
Tyson Chandler.
Okay, right. So when I asked Zach,
we talked about
when I asked Zach, could Dirk do what KG did with the Timberwolves? The answer is no, because guess what? Dirk can't carry a team like that with a bunch of scrubs because he can't play both sides of the ball. That's the problem. The thing is, Dirk's team in 2011 was built with good defenders, so Dirk didn't have to do that. All he did was had to score the ball and rebound. Okay? So you told KG, hey, we have some good defenders for you. We're going to put some shooters around you. Then, yes, maybe that's a good comparison. But it's not because guess what? He never had a team like the 2011
Zach,
Mavs.
if we go look at the Timberwolves when KG was first there, we're going to look at names that you've never heard in your life, ever.
Except for Sam Castle. That's it. That's
you will have never heard of them. Cool. You know those guys that played on that Mavericks team because they were viable players, bro. Jason Kidd was a huge deal in that series. Jason Terry, huge deal. Sean Marion, bro. They had right there. I just listed 2 elite defenders, and I put in Tyson Chandler. Now I got 3.
Thank you. And it's funny because when I asked Zach about that 07 season when Dirk won MVP and they went to 67 wins, the number 1 seed in the West, what happened? They got beat by the We Believe Warriors, who Zach is apparently a fan of because he's been a Warriors fan since 2016. He doesn't know about the 07 Warriors, obviously. And then the year before that, what did the Mavericks do in the playoffs? They went to the finals, were up 2-0 on the Heat, and guess what? Dirk, for 3 games straight, shot under 40% from the field. And they lost to D. Wade and Shaq.
Agree to disagree. We got to move on.
And he can't rebuttal. Look at that. 4 questions.
I've already rebuttal. I already had my argument. I don't need to rebuttal shit. I already said what I said. I already said you can't carry.
You must have a thing for shooters. You must have a thing for shooters.
He can't carry the Mavs, and
you
that's
just
it.
realizing it?
He can't carry
He
the
must
Mavs.
have a thing for shooters, man.
Hey, Curry, Dame, oh, he's a better shooter.
Shut up. Shut the hell up.
Jason Kidd,
he's a better shooter.
Shut up.
Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, he's a better shooter. Dirk and KG, oh, he's a better shooter.
Shut your ass up.
You really love shooting, bro.
I do like defense. I do like myself some offensive
Obviously
defense.
not. Obviously not.
I do like Jordan and Pippen on defense.
Obviously not.
Oh Lord.
Moving on, we gotta wrap this shit up because getting up there in the minutes. But we got bold takes from this week, and bold takes for this next week as well. So Mohammed, Will, and myself, Sean was on last week, but we got him this week. Mohammed said Lakers winning 2 games. Did that happen? I don't know if that happened.
Yes, it did, bro.
Right,
yes, it did.
I don't know if I consider that bold.
Yeah. Okay. He knocks me for bold.
Beat up on some trash teams.
Bulls will only lose.
Okay, wait.
No,
that's not a bold claim.
No, you're right. No, that's bold.
No,
yeah,
Will, weren't you saying last week all the Lakers might drop down to out of the playoffs?
It wasn't.
No, that was Buddy. That was Buddy there.
Wasn't Will saying that the role players could beat the role players on the Lakers could beat other teams in the league by themselves?
No, I said the Nets. I said the Nets. I said, and I didn't say role players. I said outside of James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie.
Mohammed also said Bulls will only lose one game. Did the Bulls only lose one game?
No, they lost a lot. They lost a lot.
Okay, rip. Did the Bulls beat the Jazz, Will?
They were close. They should have beat the Jazz, but
that didn't happen. Drummond did not sign with the Nets. I also remember last podcast, Will interrupted me and said that Drummond is going to favorite with the Celtics, and I said Drummond would be a favorite with the Lakers. And he said, as of 4 hours ago, as actually the Celtics. So he was wrong on that one. Big surprise. Well, Will's a little bit behind in the news. I was right, honestly. Moving on, Bulls did not win all games for me. Drummond signed with the Lakers. I guess I wasn't really bold because I was right the whole time. Lakers going on a win streak. I don't think Drummond has been back yet. I think he got an injury right when they got on, so I don't think they went on a win streak.
That's tough.
I'm not counting if they win one as a win streak anymore. Clippers beat one of the good teams. That wasn't even a fucking viable take, so I'm just gonna erase that.
I don't know whose takes those were.
We know whose takes it. Zach, you need to go first because after last week,
all right,
it's unacceptable.
All right, so we got episode 10. Bold takes real quick. What am I gonna say here? That's gonna be bold.
Gonzaga.
Yeah, I saw that stupid buzzer beater.
What about Joel Embiid? Can I say that he's gonna be a front runner in the MVP race, or is that not bold because he's back?
I don't know. I mean, he dropped. He's not in the top 3 anymore.
I would say that's pretty bold. If he's in a week,
I'm gonna say front runner.
He'd have to go off
MVP race in a week.
Or Harden just keeps not playing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Durant will still not return this week.
That's crazy because Steve Nash said he's gonna come back next week.
Still not return this week. So I think those are good takes. I think. Those are bold enough. Next.
Will, do you have any?
I do.
Sean, do you have any? I know we put you on the spot, but
right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just go real quick. I don't. Who?
Nets going on a win streak.
That's not bold, bro.
That's not bold.
That's bold.
See, it's hard. Bold? See, it's hard.
And that's the number 1 team in the East.
Okay, the only reason I might respect that as a take is if Harden, Kyrie, and Durant aren't playing, because I think they're all out currently. But if they all came back, it would be different.
All right, let me just go real quick. Bulls beat the Nets tomorrow, and Bulls are not losing a game next week. They've been on a bad losing streak right now. They've lost, I think, 13 out of the last 14 games. They're on a 6-game losing streak, or it was 10 out of the last 14 games. I don't know, but they've just been losing a lot. They will beat the Nets tomorrow night on Sunday or Sunday afternoon, and they won't lose a game next week, and they'll go back into contention for a playoff spot.
Rockets. I'll take Rockets. My boy take would be about the Rockets.
What? Spit.
I think they'll go on a win streak.
Yes, sir.
How much?
Yes,
right.
Sir.
2-game win streak.
2 to 3. 2 to 3.
Okay. Yes. All right. Well, I also had the Bulls winning all their games next week, so whatever.
Not like you're a Bulls fan or anything.
Yeah, I know, right?
We've already established who the real Bulls fan is on this podcast.
Not really, but
is it 2016?
Case in point last week. No, I followed them in the playoffs.
He could have named two.
Dude didn't even know who Derrick Rose was.
You said Bulls winning all games.
Well, yeah, I had them winning all games next week. I'm gonna have IT is gonna have a breakout game for the Pelicans this week. 30 plus points in one game.
30 plus points. That's very bold.
That's a good one, bro. I like it.
All right.
Warriors will lose by 30 or more points to the Bucks.
Again, oh my God. Yep.
How do you feel about that?
They didn't have Steph or Draymond, so whatever.
Let's just say we brought it up in the chat and dude went ghost. He ghosted us. Disappeared.
It's crazy because they lost to the Raptors by 50 points.
It's crazy, bro. It really looks like they need Klay Thompson, bro. It really looks like they need Klay Thompson. I disappeared
because it's not a big deal because they didn't have Steph or Draymond, which
50 points to one of the worst teams in the East.
Which lends to my point that Steph is one of the most valuable players in the league.
Maybe it's because the Raptors had a lot of shooters. I don't know.
But whatever. You said Warriors losing by 30, Will?
30 or more to the Bucks.
$2.
30 or more.
I should have said 20, but
I agree with
it.
So we all have we all have at least one. Dope. All right.
Steph's
not going to come back because he's hurt.
Yeah, he fell on his butt off of a really weak fall.
Yeah,
that he could have prevented.
I'll add on another bold take to my bold take. What's his name? What's the kid's name that's been doing real good in the Rockets? I keep forgetting his name.
Kevin Porter Jr.
He's gonna have 20 plus each game.
Ooh, each game.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Bro's gonna jump into the most improved conversation.
Sean comes up for one show and has two better bold takes than Zach's combined 10 in the last 4 weeks.
Whatever that means. But thanks for listening, everybody. Hit the links, hit the social media blast, the Instagram, the Twitter, everything else. Check us out on there. Shout out to everybody who's listening. Hope you're having a good day. Hope that you enjoyed the podcast this episode 10. Tune in next week. Peace.
Appreciate Sean. Appreciate y'all for coming on.
Sean for coming on.
Isaiah Thomas is a top 3 point guard of all time. Isaiah Thomas is a top 3 point guard of all time. Okay.
Is that really bold enough to end the podcast, bro?
Yeah, end it.
Peace.
Isaiah Thomas is better than Steph Curry.
Yes. Peace. Let's go.
Shut your ass up.